Welcome back to Full Timeout, your favorite sports podcast hosted by your boy AJ2K. A pleasure to be back again today. Of course, week 2 is in the books for the most part, like I always say. This, for the people that are listening over the radio, shout out to the Block 105 radio. For the people listening over the radio, you hear this on Wednesday. This is being recorded on the Monday. For the people that are watching over YouTube, obviously I try to get this up as soon as possible. So as of right now, today, recording on the Monday, we still got 2 Monday night games going on right now. We got the Saints versus the Panthers, the Browns versus the Steelers. Them games is both live as we speak. So, obviously, we're going to talk about those games next week. But we got to get right into week 2 for the games that have already happened and the games that are already in the books. Now, as I stated before, we doing the pick'em this year. Your boy, as we stand today, is 17-13. Now, I'm going to do this a little different this week. Last week, I spent way too much time doing my recaps, right? I wanted to get into every game and dive deep into the games, dig deep into everything that happened, give all types of analysis and, break it all down. This week, I don't want to do all that because I spent too much time on the recap and I want to spend more time on my predictions for this week, right? This week, I'm just going to highlight the key games from this past week. That's what I want to do. Highlight the key games that stood out to me. Obviously, every single week, I'm going to talk Philly. That's just what it is here. You know what you're getting when you tune in to Full Timeout. You're going to get something in regards to the Philadelphia Eagles. Win, lose, draw, you're going to hear me talk about Philly. That's just what I do. And then you will probably hear me talk a little bit about the NFC East as well because they're in direct competition with Philly. But then you're going to hear me talk about, a couple of the other games, the Ravens game, the Bills game, maybe. You're going to hear me talk about, the Jets games, just all over the place. I'm all over the place with it for the most part, but I'm not going to talk about every single game every single week. If you want me to talk about your team, if you feel like I'm missing out on your team, I'm going to hit pretty much every heavy hitter every week. Every team that's really popping, I'm going to hit. But if you got an undercover team that I ain't talking about enough, feel free to DM me. Feel free to DM me. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm not hard to find. Again, the @ is right here on the screen. A as in apple, J as in juice, A as in alphabet, E as in eat, the number 2 letter K. That is AJ2K. That's all one word. Hit me up, man. I'm not hard to find, yo. I'm on YouTube. Search me on YouTube. You'll find all my content. Leave it in the, in the captions or in the, in the comment section below. Let me know what how you feeling, what you think I should be talking about more, and I'll make sure I include it on the very next episode that I come out with, or I might just take that comment and use it for social media. I might just do a little social media post, 1-minute post talking about your team, and go from there. I might do it there and I might do it on the show. You never know. I like to spice it up. That's what you get here for Full Timeout. That's what you get with all my social media platforms. You get it from everywhere. You know what I mean? And again, that's HA2K for the people who don't like watching a full show. You want to get just a quick 1-minute rundown of my quick thoughts about games and things of that nature. Check out my social media pages, man. I'll talk about pretty much everything there. Now, I might crack a lot more jokes there. I might do a little trolling there just for the fun of it, because this is where you come for all the analysis. But if you are more of a fan of that and the quick 1-2 punch, the quick 1 minute, the quick 30-second reaction videos, you will find it there. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you looking, social media wise, AJ2K has you covered, especially right now during football season, and it's going to be in full effect during basketball season as well. So let's get to week 2, man. Listen, a lot of exciting games. I want to get right to the elephant in the room right away. I told y'all after every Philadelphia win, you know what you got to hear. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Yeah. 2-0 start for the Birds. Now listen and listen closely. Because everybody talking about this. That's why I said let's talk about this game first. And it was the first game of the week. So it's perfect timing, right? First things first. Do the Eagles look like the Super Bowl team that they just were last year? No. Are the Eagles the same team that they were last year so far this season? No. Are they the same team roster-wise that they were last season? No. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Some pieces we lost, some pieces we added. Things look different. Defenses are playing us different. They dropping 8 in coverage, forcing us to run the ball so they can keep everything in front of them, or so they say, or so they hope. Same thing New England did, same thing the Vikings did. The Vikings brought a little bit more pressure, but push come to shove, they trying to stop the pass. They trying to stop Jalen Hurts from killing them deep. Because they know last season we dropped back and let that mug fly all year long to AJ and Smitty. Even Quez Watkins got involved here and there. Dallas Goedert, same thing. Maybe not, on the deep routes and all of that, but let it fly. So I completely understand, completely understand that the Philadelphia Eagles don't look the way a lot of us want them to look, or a lot of us feel like they should look. I understand. I get all of that. I completely understand that. And as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I would be lying to you if I said I didn't feel that way too. I'm going to just be real about it. Of course, I want the Eagles to come out here and dominate every single game. Of course, I want the Philadelphia Eagles to come out here and just wreak havoc on these teams. Of course. Of course, I want Jalen Hurts to come out and remind people why he was an all-pro quarterback just this past season. Of course. But at the end of the day, hold on, y'all. My mother is calling me, and I got to make sure this is not. Hey, Ma, I'm recording. Let me call you right back. All right. Sorry, y'all. I got to make sure, family calls. Family first. Got to make sure it's not an emergency. Of course, I want Jalen Hurts. Sorry, y'all. Of course, I want Jalen Hurts to come out and remind everybody why he's an all-pro quarterback this past season, right? Of course. But I have to understand, just like many fans have to understand, just like many haters have to understand, that as long as you're going out there and winning football games, it don't matter. The name of the game is winning, and the Philadelphia Eagles are winning. It ain't pretty. It ain't sexy. It ain't attractive, but they winning. And that's what matters. They 2-0. Style points don't carry over to the next game. At the end of the day, it don't happen that way. All right. It don't go that way. If we drop 45 on one team, we shut them out 45-0. Do we all of a sudden start the next game with 45 points? No, we start the next game 0-0. You got a fresh start. And I love the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles have this ramping up period against teams that are not that great to start the season. They got this nice little ramping up period to work on their flaws and their issues, because Lord knows offensive coordinator Brian Johnson has been awful so far. I don't like it, but I ain't going to harp on it for the sake of the time refrains in this show. I ain't going to do that. Time restraints in this show. I ain't going to do that. But they winning games while learning what their formula for winning will be. And that's all that matters. So the Philadelphia Eagles found a way at the end of the day to get the job done. They got the job done. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. You won't catch me being mad at that. We got through the game. Bradbury wasn't available. Reed Blankenship wasn't available. Maddox got hurt. Injuries all over the place. But we won the game. Now we got 11 days worth of rest. And we're going to see about Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. So Philadelphia walked away with the win, 34-28. If I'm a Vikings fan, I know it hurts to be 0-2, but I'm going to tell you like this. It ain't over yet. We just watched the rest of the division lose, number one. Number two, man, you can't win games turning the ball over a million times. You just can't. You got 7 turnovers in 2 weeks. Both games you lost, you was in the game. Both of them. You lost to Philly by 6 points. You lost to Tampa Bay by 3. That's a total of 9 points. You're in these games. You can easily win these games. This offense can score with anybody. And I love what Brian Flores is doing on the defensive side of the ball. So I wouldn't pack it in if I'm a Vikings fan just yet. There's some potential there. Just don't turn the ball over. Just don't turn the ball over. Go a game without turning the ball over, and you will be just fine. Be just fine. You will be just fine. Just stop turning that dang ball over. But I got to give myself a quick little, you know what it is for that right there, because your boy got the game right. All right. Your boy predicted the game, right? And I'm going to take credit for that because that's what happened. All right. Now, Baltimore versus Cincinnati. Your boy definitely picked Baltimore to win this football game. What I tell y'all about Joe Burrow, he don't look like Joe Burrow right now. If I'm the coaching staff, ownership, GM, whoever is in charge, I'm telling Joe Burrow he's done indefinitely. That's what I'm telling him. He's not going to like it. He's not going to like it, but I'm doing it. You're done indefinitely. You got to think about the long-term future for your franchise quarterback who you just paid millions of dollars to. Just gave this man an amazing fat extension. You got to think about the future, bro. It's not just about this season. The Ravens, so long as Lamar Jackson is healthy, ain't going nowhere. The Steelers have a young core. They not going nowhere, right? The Browns, still for the most part, have young pieces, well, semi-young pieces. They not necessarily going nowhere, right? So the last thing you want to do is continue to put Joe Burrow out there on the field where he's clearly not himself. He's clearly not himself. The last thing you want to do is continue to put him on the field and make his injury worse. The man got a calf strain, and I told y'all from the start of the season, before week 1 even kicked off, what that reminds me of, Kevin Durant. God forbid the man actually makes his calf injury worse and it turns into something that we all know we don't want it to be. Aaron Rodgers. But at the same time, right, you're playing with fire, yo. These calf injuries ain't nothing to play with. And the man sitting back in the shotgun formation solely so he don't have to go under center and take steps back, take a drop back in the pocket, yo. That's a problem. The offensive line already is not what it's supposed to be. Let's just be clear. It's not what it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be better. It ain't much better. It's okay. It's still not, one of the best offensive lines in the league. So he's still got to get out of the pocket, scramble, move around. And his mobility, especially with that offensive line, is important. It is vital for his survival on that football field. It's not an arm injury we talking about to the non-throwing arm or non-throwing shoulder. It's not a finger injury. It's not even an ankle injury. We're talking about calf. It's not nothing to play with. I'm sitting him down indefinitely until he is healthy to play. And if you miss the playoffs, you miss the playoffs. You have to be okay if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. You made the AFC Championship game. You've been to a Super Bowl. You know what this team can do. You have to be okay punting on the season. For the sake of your star quarterback's health, you have to be okay with saying, I'm punting on this season. You got to. You have to. Because if you go out there and you make this worse, not going to know what to tell you. Not going to know what to tell you, bro. Not going to know what to tell you. Y'all knew in y'all heart of hearts that man was not ready to come back. Joe Burrow knew in his heart of hearts he wasn't ready to come back. Now, they made this game interesting. The Ravens only won by 3 points. Lamar Jackson went out there and did his thing. Joe Burrow wasn't terrible, but he wasn't Joe Burrow. He wasn't Joe Burrow. Thank God Odell is okay for the most part. I know he had a little ankle injury, little ankle tweak. Hopefully, he's good going forward. I hear it's not nothing serious. It's minor. He should be fine. But this is about Joe Burrow in the Bengals. And I'm not going to sit up here and say they're done, but what I am saying is they should be done. If I'm the owner, if I'm the GM, if I'm the coach, I have seen enough to know my quarterback is not 100%. He has an injury that is serious enough for me to say, that's it. I'm shutting him down. To prevent the star from hurting himself further at the end of the day. That's the move I'm making, yo. That's the move I'm making at the end of the day. All right? So that's just my stance. If you've been paying attention, I've said it literally from day one. It's not smart to continue to have him out there, bro. It's just not intelligent. It's not intelligent. Shout out again to the Ravens for getting that dub. I said they would win the division this year. I didn't anticipate Joe Burrow being hurt, but hey, Lamar, that team, that offense, they stay healthy, they're gonna win this division. We're gonna see what the Browns do tonight. They playing right now. We gonna see. We gonna see. That's all I'm gonna say. On to a game I got wrong. I must admit, I was probably wrong about Justin Fields. I'm not going to even lie, bro. I'm not going to lie. I picked the Bears to win this division because I have a lot of faith in Justin Fields. I drank the Kool-Aid of he's going to be Jalen Hurts 2.0 this season with the addition of more to that offense. Chase Claypool will be better. This defense just added a couple pieces and improved. I'm thinking they're going to be much better. And my goodness, Listen. Justin Fields, I'm not gonna pile on today. I'm not gonna do that to him. But boy, he don't look good. And I know, yes, the offensive line ain't perfect, but bruh, if you watch these games, he holding on to the ball for 3 years. Missing reads left and right. Guys are open, bruh. Guys are open. But he pat, holding on to that football. Pat. Holding on to that football. Pat. Not getting the ball out of his hands in time. The offensive line can only hold up for so long. Even the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, who I believe has the best offensive line in football, can only block for so long. Dallas Cowboys have one of the best offensive lines, can only block for so long. The Kansas City Chiefs had the best pass blocking rate in all of football last season. Pat Mahomes was still getting that ball out, though. Dude, Justin Fields got to do the same thing, bro. Stop second guessing yourself out there and let the ball go. Let it go. I mean, he took 6 sacks in this game. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I do not know. It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look. Tampa Bay has a great defense. We're gonna see about them, in Tampa when they play Philly this upcoming week. We're gonna get to that prediction in a little bit here. Shout out to Tampa though, because Tampa not playing bad football. Baker Mayfield threw the ball for 317 yards in a TUD this past week. 9 yards a throw. Mike Evans went for 171 on them boys in a TUD. 6 receptions. Chris Godwin, 5 receptions, 58 yards. I mean, he using his weapons out there. He playing smart football. He not turning the ball over. Baker Mayfield has been a surprise for me so far this season. I predicted that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would lose both their games to start the season. I didn't think they'd beat Minnesota. I dang sure didn't think they'd beat Chicago because, again, I had high hopes for Chicago and for Justin Fields. So shout out to them because they have surprised me. That defense has not been shocking, but Baker Mayfield has been playing good ball. He's been playing good ball, and you got to give credit where it's due. But just like I said, this is about, last game I said that was about Burrow. This is about Justin Fields. Justin Fields could have won that game, yo. And bro, he giving the ball away like candy, holding the ball for too dang long. Everybody want to blame it on every other factor. Maybe he don't want to be in Chicago. I don't know. But boy, oh boy, you need to fix it. Fix it, my brother. Fix it, my brother, please. Because goodness gracious. I don't know. Again, if he trying to play his way out of Chicago, he doing a damn good job. But I got news for you. You play your way out of Chicago, there's no guarantee you're going to go somewhere else and be a starter right off the bat. It's no guarantee that you're not going to be a starter right off the bat, depending on the franchise that you go to, if you get traded, whatever the case may be. But bruh, you got to give him something. You got enough to give him something, yo. Goodness gracious. I know the Bears, listen, they the Bears. The organization ain't good. It ain't perfect, but man, I had high hopes for this team for a reason. That defense was supposed to be better. That offensive line was supposed to be better. The addition of DJ Moore, they were supposed to be better. And boy, they look terrible so far. It's still very early, but they look terrible. Another game I was wrong about. The Jets versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, full disclosure, if I would have known that Aaron Rodgers was going to tear his Achilles literally at the same time of me recording this episode this past Monday, literally at the same time while I'm sitting up here recording Full Timeout, talking about how the Dallas Cowboys got to go see about Aaron Rodgers. They're going to have to see about Aaron Rodgers, a man that we all know they cannot beat. If I'd have known this man was going to tear his Achilles at the same time as me saying that, I'd have picked the Dallas Cowboys to win this football game because I got no faith in Zach Wilson whatsoever. Especially against that defensive line, that defense, no. With Lawrence and Micah Parsons and Gilmore and Diggs, I would have had no faith. Only faith I had was they got Aaron Rodgers and a defense that's going to play for Aaron Rodgers. The same defense that didn't play for Zach Wilson. I'll get to that in a second. But my goodness gracious. First off, prayers up for Aaron Rodgers. I hope he make a speedy recovery. I know he's like, give me the timetables, give me your doubts. Man, don't rush back. It's an Achilles injury. You're like 55 years old, bro. Don't rush back, man. It ain't that deep, bro. Listen, bro. They'll be there next year. They'll all be there next year. They all young. They're going to play for you. They're not gonna make the playoffs without you, and that's okay. That's okay, bro. Just rest up, go through your rehab, take your time. You're not 23, bro. You're about 55. Okay, so take your time. Don't rush it. Be easy. Be easy. Be easy. And understand that this team ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't like if you don't play the rest of this season, they're going to all of a sudden, trade Brees Hall, and they're going to all of a sudden trade Garrett Wilson. And when you come back, you only going to have to work with, the guys that you brought with you, Randall Cobb and, you know what I'm saying, whoever. It's not gonna work. Alan Lazard. It's not gonna work like that, bro. Take your time. There's no point in rushing back. I really do not see the point in rushing back besides you just want to play football. And honestly, on top of that, another reason why I'm not rushing back is this offensive line is abysmal. It's abysmal. People was trying to get on the New York Jets for not running the football. I watched the game start to finish. Do you want to know why they didn't want to run the football that much? Because they couldn't. Because they couldn't run the ball. Every time they tried to run the ball, bad things happened. Brees Hall touched the ball 4 times. He had 9 yards. Dalvin Cook touched the ball 4 times. He had 7 yards. Michael Carter touched the ball 2 times. He had 8 yards. Dalvin had a fumble. I wouldn't be running the ball that much either. They ran the ball 16 times for a total of 64 yards, and Zach Wilson was their leading rusher with 36 yards. All scrambling from the pocket. No RPO. No design runs. All of it just scrambling, and most of it came towards the end of the first half. Come on, bro. When they back playing man-to-man defense and he just finding holes within that defense and the offensive line to run through and slide, get down, try to get extra yards for a field goal at the end of the half. That's why they weren't running the ball. I'm tired of hearing everybody talk about they should have ran the ball. Coaching staff. I don't like what they did on defense, but coaching staff did a terrible job not running the ball. You're not going to beat the Dallas Cowboys dropping, Zach Wilson back at me and time. First off, before you blinked, you was losing the game. That's number one. And number two, they tried. They couldn't run the football. They just couldn't, bro. It's only but so much you can try one thing, bro, and it not work before you realize, hey, this ain't working. Maybe we should try something else. So listen, I should have picked the Dallas Cowboys to win that game. I should have went back and changed the pick. I didn't. I honestly forgot about it. It is what it is. I'll take my L. I'm 17-13 right now on the pick 'em, so I'll take that. I should be 18-12 because I would have changed that to the Jets if I'd have known that was going to happen to Aaron Rodgers. Remember, I made these picks live on the air just like I'm going to do today. I made the picks live. I'm going to make them live again today on a Monday. Hopefully no more other, injuries pop up before, you guys hear this. But at the same time, we knew once Zach Wilson rolled his butt out there how this game was going to go. We all knew it. Now, I want to say this. Dallas Cowboys side of things. Listen, I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm an I see myself as an objective Eagles fan. Now, just because I'm an objective Eagles fan, don't mean I ain't going to keep it 100 about what I see. So the positives for the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, week 1, Dak Prescott looked but that defense looked amazing. They won the game, blew the Giants off, blew the brakes off the Giants. Week 2, Dak Prescott looked like he an all-pro quarterback. Looked like he could be an MVP guy. That's how he looked. He looked great week 2. That defense looked just as good. Those are your positives. They are 2-0. They look great so far. And thank God they haven't had any injuries. God forbid they have any injuries. We don't want the injury bug to bite anybody. This is what I will say, though. I've heard people come out and say this is the best Dallas Cowboys team we've ever seen, and the Dallas Cowboys are surefire Super Bowl contender. This is what I will say. This is where that realness got to come out, because when the Philadelphia Eagles was winning games last season, blowing teams out and not scoring in the second half because we dominated them so tough in the first half, we didn't need to score in the second half. What did we hear all season? You ain't play no quarterbacks. Strength of schedule. You ain't play nobody. That's all we heard. Or you played Carson Wentz. That's what we was hearing. Or you played, Kirk Cousins, primetime Kirk Cousins. Oh, they ain't play nobody. We got to the Super Bowl, and we heard people tell us or ask us, are the Eagles battle tested? Are the Eagles battle tested? They're in the goddamn Super Bowl. We had people asking us that, though, after we made it all the way to the Super Bowl. But after 2 weeks, we already ready to crown the Dallas Cowboys. They beat Zach Wilson in a great defense. I'm not taking away from the offense what the offense just did. They beat Zach Wilson, and they beat Daniel Nichols. I don't even call him Daniel Dimes. They beat Daniel Nichols out there. It was Nichols. In that Cowboy game, it was pennies. Matter of fact, it was nothing because he didn't score. It was nothing. It wasn't even a nickel. It wasn't nothing. So you get credit for handling your business. You beat who you beat. You play who you play. And that is the stance I made all that season. You beat who you beat. You play who you play. But that schedule going to get tougher, yo. And yes, they outscoring teams 70-10 right now, but it ain't going to be like that every week, bro. They're going to be in some tight games, just like Philly be in some tight games, just like Washington been in some tight games, just like San Francisco, who might be the best team in the NFC right now, maybe, was just in a tough, hard-nosed game with the Rams. It ain't going to be like this every week. It ain't. They ain't going to look this dominant every week. It ain't. They're going to lose some games. Dak Prescott ain't going to look amazing every game. And I think we need to keep that in mind. Because, again, style points are style points. They don't carry over to the next game. This ain't, I don't even know what sport counts style points like that off the top of my head. I don't even know off the top of my head. But they don't carry over to the next game, bro. It starts 0-0 next game. And I'm sure they're going to do the same thing to the Cardinals this upcoming week because they got Joshua Dobbs out there throwing passes. We know what that's about, bro. Joshua Dobbs going to be a deer in headlights out there. We all know it. We know this already. So they're going to be 3-0 by the end of the week. We know this. Congratulations in advance. All I'm saying is let's reel this in just a little bit. They look good. I'm not taking credit away from how good they look. But let's pump the brakes on their Super Bowl. We do this every year with the same team. Why? And then when they don't meet expectations, we make a million excuses for these guys like they not a Super Bowl contender, quote unquote, every season. Pump the brakes. Let these guys beat a team. And then we can talk. Because again, y'all didn't want to talk about Philly last year all year leading up to the Super Bowl. Bruh, y'all didn't talk about Philly for real until after the Super Bowl. Damn, they look good against the Chiefs, against Patrick Mahomes. They lost, but I mean, they look great in the loss. Been telling y'all all season this team is cold. Are they battle tested? Did they peak early? All this other stuff that was said. They ain't play no quarterback. They look how they looked against the Lions and all that. Come on, bruh. But with Dallas, we just ignore all those narratives and say, look at how dominant they look. Come on, bro. Stop playing. Dak looks great. That defense looks great. It's week 2, though. The issue with the Dallas Cowboys has never, ever been the start of the season. When has it ever been September? These guys lost Dak Prescott to start the season last year and went on to win 4 straight games with their backup quarterback. It's never been an issue for them to start this season. The issue with the Dallas Cowboys has always been December, January. Always. I don't think they don't even get to January. Let me not go that far, but y'all know what I'm saying. All right? That's all I'm saying, bro. I ain't trying to be the bearer of bad news. I ain't trying to be a hater. I give credit where it's due. But, bro, I just asked for some consistency, bro. Consistency is all I asked for. Washington against the Broncos. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check here. I'm pretty sure I got that game wrong. Let me just double check here, though. Let's see. Yes, I got that wrong. I'm going to say this because I made a video after this game and I talked about Russell Wilson. And I said, listen, I'm sick and tired of Russell Wilson. That is what I said. Now, a lot of people, Russell Wilson can't play defense. What was Russell Wilson out there playing cornerback? Was Russell Wilson out there playing linebacker? Was he a defensive end? All these people want to troll underneath in my comment section. First off, I thank y'all for the engagement. I appreciate it because Instagram been playing with your boys' engagement lately. So I definitely appreciate y'all for that. But what I will say is this. I get sick and tired of people acting as if the quarterback who has the lead has nothing to do with blowing said lead. Like that makes me mad. That really, it grinds my gears. You feel me? I don't mess with that. We got to be realistic with this thing. Yes, the Broncos defense should have been better. They got fried in the second half. Shout out to Eric Bieniemy and shout out to Sam Howell, who I like. Sam Howell been looking good, bro. I ain't finna hate on Washington today. That's what I'm not about to do. But I am about to talk about these Broncos. That defense got to be better. But I'm not finna allow y'all to gloss over the fact that Russell Wilson, when it mattered most, to close that game out, to seal the deal, was nowhere to be found. I'm not about to gloss over that. These boys went up 21-3. What happened after that? offensively, because people talk about how the Broncos defense didn't step up, but they conveniently leave out this important fact in football. When the other team scores, you get the ball back to score, right? You can put up a field goal or a touchdown or, dominate time of possession, keep your defense off the field. You can do that. It's possible. Keep your defense fresh by keeping them off the field, run the ball, throw the ball effectively, get first downs. You might not score, but at least control time of possession. Do something to help your defense out, right? We act like that's not a thing. And it's always all on the defense when they blow big leads. It's the same thing I say about Justin Herbert. Not to get off topic, but we want to give Justin Herbert all these passes for blowing that last playoff game when his defense gave him 4 or 5 turnovers. But we want to blame that same defense who gave him 4 or 5 turnovers and spotted him a 25-point lead. That could have been more if they'd have punched the ball in the end zone instead of settling for field goals. We want to fault that defense for them blowing that lead like Justin Herbert wasn't getting the ball back to put up points. I got the same argument for Russell Wilson. You're up 21-3. You are a former Super Bowl champion, a future Hall of Fame quarterback. That's what you are, Russ. That's what you are. You go up 21-3. The next couple possessions after that, a fumble. Wasn't his fault, but a fumble, a punt, an interception, a field goal, a punt, a field goal. Then you get the last minute Hail Mary. Meanwhile, you look at Washington, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Like, bruh, these guys putting up points. Russ, you get the ball back. You got to do something with it, bruh. I understand. Their defensive line was getting home and he was under pressure. I'm not hearing all these excuses, bro. You was up 21-3. You don't get a 21-3 lead and you're a future Hall of Famer and you blow that lead. You already got one loss on the record already. You had a rough season this past season. You don't want to start off 0-2 again. Seal the deal. I'm upset about this as an Eagles fan because obviously I wanted everybody in the division to lose. But of course, Jonathan Gannon does what he does and blew another game for the Cardinals against the Giants after being up with a huge lead. They didn't seal the deal. And then you got the same thing with these dang Broncos. Come on, bro. I am faulting a lot of this on the defense, but I'm also putting some of it on Russell Wilson. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm done with Russell Wilson. I'm done. He's a family man now. Go be with the fam. No disrespect. And I mean that respectfully. And I say it respectfully. If he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback, he's a fringe Hall of Fame quarterback. He's got that type of talent. He's got that type of resume. But bruh, there is no excuse for going up that many points, missing guys for touchdowns, not running the ball in for the 2-point conversion because he had a clear hole to run the ball through, but he decided not to. He decided to throw the ball. And everybody talking about it was a clear PI on a 2-point conversion. I don't care. You're not getting that call 9 times out of 10 at the end of a game. Have somebody jump in my comment section and say they called that call in the Super Bowl. And they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. They're not going to do that all the time. It's not going to happen all the time. It's not going to happen all the time. It's just not, bro. It's not happening all the time. Don't count on you getting that call every time. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen, bro. Just point it out there. But it's no excuse, bro. It's no excuse. I'm not giving him no pass for punt, intercept. That interception was huge. Everybody want to gloss over the pick he threw. I'm over Russell Wilson. Shout out to the Commanders and shout out to the rest of the NFC East that continue to get it done, though. They continue to get it done. I give credit where it's due, bro. They continue to get it done. And everybody said it was the NFC least, but it don't look like that these days. The NFC East look like one of the best divisions in football, if not the best division in football. If not. So, before I go over here to these predictions for week 3, I want to quickly go through here and give myself dings and buzzers for the games I got wrong and right that I didn't talk about. The Packers lost. Hey, I picked the Packers to win. They lost to the Falcons. The Falcons playing solid football right now, running the ball effectively. Bijan Robinson looks like every bit of Bijan Robinson, exactly what we expected him to look like. Shout out to him. And hey, I still like what I'm seeing, out of Jordan Love. I like what I'm seeing, but I got that game wrong. Chargers, again, I ain't about to spend all this time talking about Herbert. If you've been listening, you know how I feel about Justin Herbert. I think he's a talented guy, very talented. I picked him to win this game. He failed me. Just like 87% of the people who picked him to win this game, he failed me. And I'm not trying to hear a bunch of excuses about the defense and all of that. They paid that man all that money to overcome that stuff. If you can't overcome that stuff, maybe you shouldn't have signed that deal. Maybe you should. Maybe you should have told them to spread that money around, spread that bread around, so we can improve the defense and make this team better to help me win games. Because they pay you that amount of money for you to overcome. I understand this is his first big contract. I ain't on that with him, but I'm just saying, bro. I'm not hearing all the excuses for Herbert. He's too talented to be losing all these close games. Too talented, bro. He's too talented for that. The man, 10 losses, got the most losses of any quarterback since 2020 with a lead in the fourth quarter. Absurd. Moving on. Bills and Raiders. I got that game right. That's self-explanatory. The Bills should win that game. Lions, they lost the game. Not going to spend too much time on that one. They just didn't get it done. The Chiefs, they don't look the same without Eric Bieniemy, but they got the win, and I predicted that. Colts also got the win. I predicted that. 49ers kind of struggled this week, but they got the win. I wonder if the narrative is going to be the same for the Niners. They always talk about how the Eagles struggle, but they don't want to talk about how the Niners just struggled with the Rams. The Rams could be a surprise team this year, but I doubt it. I'll take the win, though, for that. If I didn't give myself the being already my bad, I'm about to give it now. And I believe that concludes. Oh, and then the Dolphins and the Patriots. That win over the Patriots look a little better for me as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, because y'all seen Bill Belichick give the Dolphins trouble too. And that young cornerback Gonzalez, bro, he a dog. I like what I see. Ping. Now, games is still going right now. For those who don't know, I picked the Saints to win Monday night. I also picked the Browns to win. Right now, the score of the Saints game is 6-3. And the score of the Browns game is 3-7. Interesting. I'll be shocked if the Steelers find a way to win this game. But then again, I wouldn't, because like I said before, I like the defense of the Browns, but Deshaun still ain't stepped up the way I need him to step up, yo. It just don't look good right now. So we'll see how that go. On to week 3. Let's see what matchups we got. I haven't even looked, so this is my first time looking at it. Oh, come on now. Listen. Let me change the banner for the people watching on the tube. We got the 49ers against the Giants. I'm rolling with the 49ers. And listen, this might be disrespectful, but I'm going to give myself a early for that one. I know the 49ers going to win that game. I mean, it's just what it is. I will not be fooled by Daniel Nichols finding a way to come back against a team that might just be tanking in the Arizona Cardinals. Don't believe in him. Don't believe in Jonathan Gannon. You can call me bitter. You can call me what you want. I do not care. I don't believe. Titans versus the Browns. This pick may change. I'm not gonna lie. It may depend a bit on what the Browns end up doing tonight. But for now, I'm gonna roll with the Browns. At some point, Deshaun has to play better. But even if he doesn't, I just believe in that defense a little bit more. I'm not really sold on Tannehill. Everybody knows how I feel about Tannehill. Their passing attack. I don't know, bro. I got a little bit more faith. I don't have a ton of faith in either one of these teams, but I got a little bit more faith in the Browns than I do the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to roll with the Browns. I think, having Denzel Ward out there to match up with, a guy on the outside, I think it's perfect. D-Hop, blanking on his name. Having Denzel Ward to match up with a guy like D-Hop on the outside is great. Their defensive line, I don't think is going to allow Derrick Henry to dominate the game, because they got one of the best defensive fronts in the league, in my opinion. So I got the Browns winning that football game. You got the Falcons versus the Detroit Lions next. I don't know, man. It's getting harder to pick against the Falcons. I'm not going to lie. Bijan playing out of his mind. Ritter playing decent football. Look like he playing motivated ball. They got Drake London involved in this past game. He looked decent. But I am going to pick against them because I believe in Detroit. I know they lost this past week in a shootout, 31-37. Do I believe the Falcons are going to put up that many points? Because in order to beat the Lions for a vast majority of the season, I know they didn't put up a ton of points against the Chiefs. Weird things happen week 1. We understand that. But I do expect the Lions to be one of the more prolific offenses in football. And I do think, unless you have an elite defense that's really going to stop somebody, which I don't believe the Falcons have, the Lions are going to put up points. So at that point, it's going to come down to two things. Either one, you're going to dominate at the time of possession with Bijan Robinson if you're the Atlanta Falcons. You're going to run the ball like crazy, like they have been doing to get their wins. You're going to run the ball like crazy and dominate time of possession. Or that's not going to work, and Ritter is just going to drop back and kill you from the pocket. Truthfully, You got a better chance at dominating time of possession with Bijan Robinson. But even with that, I don't think that's enough to beat this Lions team clicking on all cylinders on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm rolling with the Detroit Lions. Packers versus Saints. This game is at Lambeau Field. I'm gonna roll with the Pack. Again, Jordan Love, I love what I'm seeing. Now, that defense has to be a bit better this upcoming week, but Jordan Love, bro, shout out to my guy, Kalen. I don't know if I said this before, but my guy, Kalen, if you listening, shout out to you, bro. We did a podcast called Bridge the Gap a couple years ago, and Kalen told me, he's like, look, bro, I think the Packers should move on from Aaron Rodgers. I think maybe not this year, but the next. This was a few years ago. So literally to this year was the year he felt like they should move on to Jordan Love. He was right on the money, bro. Aaron Rodgers is out with an Achilles injury, and Jordan Love is balling. Jordan Love looked good, yo. He looked good, bro. That's why I'm like, depending on these matchups, I'm probably gonna roll with Jordan Love right now. I like the young man. The man playing some great football. I'm not extremely impressed with what I've seen with the Saints. They got past barely, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, bro. I'm just not I don't know, bro. I'm not super impressed. Obviously, they on the field right now. We're gonna see if they win tonight. I believe I picked them last week, if I'm not mistaken. I had to go back and double check, but I don't know, bro. I like Jordan Love. Let's put it like that. I got more faith in Jordan Love right now than Derek Carr. That's what I'll say. I do believe in the Saints defense, though. Excuse me. That defense is elite. That secondary is elite, and they can get to the passer. We know this, and that will be a challenge. But I think the Packers, coming off of a rough week, will play better defensively as well. They just gave up 25 points to the Falcons. I think they bounce back, and I think they find a way to get a win over the New Orleans Saints. Broncos at Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. I said I'm done with Russell Wilson, and I meant it. Plus, on top of everything, if you couldn't stop Sam Howell, need I say more? If you couldn't stop Sam Howell, need AJ2K say more? You ain't stopping Tua. I will say more. You ain't stopping Tua. If you couldn't stop Terry McLaurin, need I say more? What the hell you gonna do with Tyreek Hill? What the hell you gonna do with Jalen Waddle? Both those guys might be better than Scary Terry. Let's just call a spade a spade. They might be. I'm not saying that they both are for sure. For sure, Tyreek Hill is. But Waddle, I mean, you can have a conversation because he is a number one. He is a number one. If you can't stop them guys over there from Washington, you ain't doing nothing with this offense. You ain't doing nothing with the Dolphins. I'm sorry. That's an easy pick for me. I'm sorry. And again, Russell Wilson, look, I like what I seen from the Dolphins defense this past week. I did. It wasn't amazing all the way around, but they did enough to get the win, and I think they do enough to get this win here, but I don't think they're going to have to do too much because I think the Dolphins going to put up points. Broncos need a bounce back game offensively or defensively, but it ain't coming against the Dolphins. It ain't coming against the Dolphins. Chargers at Vikings. I'm rolling with the Minnesota Vikings. All the Vikings have to do is not turn the damn ball over. Don't turn the ball over, bro. Stop turning the ball over. I mean, these are silly turnovers. We're talking about interceptions in the red zone. We're talking about fumbling, punt returns. We're talking about Alexander Madison, who I was high on, but it ain't looking good. I ain't gonna lie, it ain't looking good. I might have been wrong about that too, just like I was wrong about Fields. Hey, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. You gotta take your wins with your L's. Might have been wrong about that, but he out there fumbling. Offensive line looking rough. Kirk Cousins can't even get the ball from the center without fumbling. I mean, it looked ugly. But when they have it going, they have it going. Jordan Addison is a dog. One of the best young receivers in the league. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. And I like what Brian Flores is doing with this defense. A lot of man-to-man. He's sending them blitzes. He getting to the quarterback. He doing what needs to be done. I know it's not showing up when it comes to how many points these other teams are scoring, but I put a lot of that on the Vikings offense, turning the ball over, giving these teams short fields. They should have beat us this past week. That's just me being real. They should have beat Philly this past week, but they didn't because they turned the ball over 3-4 times. You're not going to beat anybody turning the ball over 3-4 times, let alone the NFC champs. It's not happening. And so do I think, just like last year, They won a whole bunch of one-score games, one touchdown, one field goal, whatever case, y'all know what I'm getting at. They won a bunch of them games last season. It was flukish. You can't win. You can't do that every year. It's not happening, right? But you know what's also flukish? Turning the ball over 7 times in 2 weeks. Turning the ball over nonstop. That's not going to happen every week. It's not going to happen every week. And I think that if it doesn't happen every week, the Vikings can put up points with anybody. I truly believe that. They can score. And these Chargers ain't stopping these guys from scoring. They ain't. I have more faith in the Vikings defense led by Brian Flores than I do for the Chargers defense. And again, y'all know how I feel about Herbert. Talented. I'm not sure he's a winner, but real talented. Real talented. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. We got the Patriots versus the Jets. I think I'm going to roll with the Pats. I think the Pats are due for a win. These first 2 games of the season, man, they've been close. Had an opportunity to beat Philadelphia late. Couldn't get those 2 feet in bounds. Shout out to Josh Jobe pushing up young man out of bounds so he can't get both feet in bounds. This past week, we just saw Sunday Night Football against the Dolphins. They had an opportunity to march the ball downfield and get in the end zone and tie the football game up. Throw the ball outside to your tight end. He don't get to the first down, so he laterals the ball backwards to his offensive lineman. He catches the ball and is like inches away from the first down line before he's tackled and can't get the first down in the ball game. These games been close. And Bill Belichick game planning against Zach Wilson is not gonna be pretty. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. It ain't gonna be pretty. On top of that, for real, the Jets had more options to throw the football to when they had Aaron Rodgers back there in the pockets flinging the football. But with Zach Wilson, he only gonna effectively get the ball to one guy. Now, one guy is gonna get consistent separation, and that's Garrett Wilson. Any guy that he got to get the ball to where it's a tight window type of throw, it ain't happening. And like I said before, the Patriots got a young man named Gonzalez that they just drafted out of Oregon. That is a dog. Had a great week this past week against Tyreek Hill. Had a great week the week before against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. He is a dog. I'm not sure Garrett Wilson is going to have a great game against that young man. I am not going to lie to you. Dog is the next. He is the next big thing at the cornerback position. Pay attention to that young man, yo. He is quietly getting money right now. People ain't talking about it because the Patriots are losing, but he quietly getting money, yo. Quietly. He could end up being the defensive rookie of the year. Potentially. I still feel like it's going to go to Jalen Carter because he playing lights out. But boy, that young man, nice. Pay attention. The Bills versus the Commanders. I'm rolling with the Bills. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if the Commanders win this game. I ain't going to lie to you because we know Josh Allen. Week 1, he was giving that ball away like it was candy, like it's charity or something, just turning the ball over like crazy. Week 2, he played a lot better against the Raiders, but that's the Raiders. This Commanders team is different. Their defense is probably top 5 in the league. Well, I don't know. After just giving up 33, they might not be. But sometimes they have spurts where they play like a top 5 defense, offense, or defensive line, and in the secondary, they get to the passer. They create turnovers, as we've seen the first 2 weeks of the season. They deflect passes. They do their thing out there. Got to get credit where it's due. And Sam Howell ain't half bad. Eric Bieniemy looked like he needs to be a head coach. He doing wonders out there. I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game, especially if Josh Allen is giving the ball away like it's charity. I wouldn't be shocked. Now, do I expect it? No. I think Josh Allen is going to have a good game. I think Josh Allen is going to find a way to win this game. I hope Josh Allen, let's just be clear, I hope he finds a way to win this game. Because as an Eagles fan, I need these Commanders to lose, bro. Get them up out of here. Somebody handle our dirty work before we have to. Please. All right? So I'm thinking Josh Allen can go out there and get this win. I'm thinking they don't really have no answer for Stephon Diggs. I'm thinking that the Buffalo Bills defense will be enough to slow down Sam Howell and their offense just enough to get a win. It's in Washington. As long as Josh Allen ain't out there just being reckless, I think they win this game. They are the better team. So I'm rolling with Josh Allen. Please don't make me regret that, Josh. Please don't. Texans at Jaguars. I'm going with the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are just the better overall team. CJ Stroud has not looked terrible so far, but the team just not good enough. We can make that quick. We got the Colts at Baltimore. I'm not even sure if Richardson is going to play. Last time I checked, he left the game with a concussion. I don't have any updates on that right now as of Monday. I'm rolling with the Ravens either way, though. I think they're the better team. Hopefully, Odell plays. Lamar Jackson is coming out. I said he's going to have an MVP caliber season. I think that continues here against the Colts. Give me the Ravens. We got the Panthers versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm rolling with the Seahawks. Again, young quarterback, Bryce Young, don't have enough. He just don't have enough. And the Seahawks got more than enough to take them down, especially at home. Make it quick. Let me get Seattle. We got the Bears and the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. We can make this quick too. I just talked about Justin Fields. I really think they needed this past week. I really think they needed this win this past week. They didn't get it. If you're not beating, the Packers and you're not beating the team that just played this past week, you're not beating the Chiefs. It's not happening. It's not the Bucks. That's the team they just beat, just lost to last week. You're not beating the Packers. You're not beating the Bucks. You're not beating the Chiefs either. The Chiefs are off to a slow start, but they're going to kick it up against these Bears. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Give me the Chiefs. Dallas versus the Cardinals. I ain't going to spend too much time on this. Again, Joshua Dobbs is throwing the football. That's all I need to know. Budda Baker is on IR. That's all I need to know. I'm sure Micah Parsons and D-Law and all them dudes going to go crazy. They're going to get their numbers. They're going to run the score up. They're going to do what they do. And everybody going to be talking about how they Super Bowl contenders for yet another week. I'm sure of it. Go ahead, get your win, move on to the next week. And again, the Cardinals are most likely tanking. They ain't going to say it. They're going to make it seem like they ain't every game, but they ain't. They ain't trying to win these games. You don't blow no lead like that against the New York Giants, and you telling me you ain't tanking. I ain't trying to hear it. And again, Gannon, get him out of here, bro. He wasn't a good DC in my eyes. He damn sure ain't no good head coach. Talking about, did y'all feel the fire in your bellies before you got here? Did you ride here on the bus, on the train? Did you take the bus, the train, the limo? Did you have a chauffeur? Either way, did you have that fire in? No, we didn't, sir. No, we didn't have none of that in the stomach today. No, we didn't. We suck. All right. We got Joshua Dobbs throwing the football. And we got you as a head coach. Ain't no fire in nobody's belly with you coaching. Call a spade, bro. Steelers versus Raiders. Is Devontae Adams okay? I'm not sure. And without me knowing he's okay and going to be able to play, I think he's in concussion protocol. I'm going to roll with the Steelers. I'm interested in seeing if they win tonight, though. Again, I'm recording this while this game is going on. Maybe that changes my opinion. I don't know. But I'm, as of right now, without knowing the severity of what's going on with Devontae Adams and if he'll be available, I'm going to roll with the Steelers. I think if Devontae Adams is 100% healthy and he plays, I do think that sways my take on this. The game is in Las Vegas. It probably does sway my pick, especially if you can get home, and sack the quarterback, Kenny Pickett. It changes my opinion, but how much does it change my opinion is the question. How much does it change my opinion? I don't know. I don't know. For now, I'm going to roll with the Steelers, though. Then we got, the two Monday night games this upcoming week. We got Philadelphia versus the Buccaneers. Y'all know, I already told y'all before the season started, I think the Eagles going to go 5-0, 6-0 to start the season before the schedule get too rough. But I will say this. Lord have mercy, Brian Johnson. Lord have mercy. If this man don't start calling better plays on the offensive side of the ball, this will be a game we lose. I ain't going to lie to y'all. This will be a game we lose messing around with Brian Johnson. Now, I said earlier, when I was talking about the game, the Eagles are finding ways to win games. Of course, it ain't sexy, all of this, that, and the third. I said all that. That's cool. We 2-0. It's a new week, though. And the Buccaneers defense is serious, bro. They ain't nothing to play with. We're seeing how the Philadelphia Eagles look when they match up against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, it's a different Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, but the defense is very close to being the same. We saw how they looked when they matched up in the playoffs in 2021, I want to say, a couple years ago. Obviously, Jalen Hurts wasn't 100%, and he's not the same Jalen Hurts that he was back then today. We know that. Well, all I'm saying is they know how to stop the run. And if they stop the run, it'll be up to Brian Johnson. First of all, it'll be up to Brian Johnson to start running the ball to start the game. If he does that and they stop the run, it'll be up to him to scheme our playmakers open. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, And no, I'm not putting any stock into him going at Jalen Hurts about getting the football. That's what receivers do when they ain't getting touches. It is what it is. Get the man the damn ball. And for every Eagles fan that's out there, trade A.J. Brown, get off the drugs. Put the booger sugar down. Please, I beg of you. Never speak again about that. That's just an absurd statement to make, okay? But I'm saying all that to say this. If Brian Johnson cannot help scheme open our receivers, we may be in trouble this week. I'm not going to lie. Jalen Hurts got to be better. Our defense, we getting a lot of pressures, but we not sacking the quarterback. I put some stock in the pressures, but not as much stock as I put in actually sacking the quarterback. You got to get him to the ground. Get him to the ground. Get him to the ground. Get him to the turf. Then we can talk. But the pressures ain't working because these quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins still got money. Mac Jones still got money. Them pressures can only do but so much. They ain't gonna do nothing but roll out of the pocket. And Baker Mayfield is mobile enough to roll out of the pocket. And then you got guys like Mike Evans, and you got Chris Godwin on the outside or in the slot that could torch you. Now, thank God, Bradbury is going to be back this week. Thank God, I believe Reed Blankenship is going to be back. That should help. But we got to get to the quarterback this week. I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles. I hope it's a blowout, but we'll see. I'm rolling with my birds. I'm standing on that hill of them going 6-0 till they prove me wrong. I'm standing on that. But I will admit, Brian Johnson's play calling has to improve. I'm not mad at the defense. Sean Desai is doing everything he can right now with the weapons he has at his disposal, and it should be better this week because you're getting some guys back. But offensively, boy, he got to be Brian Johnson. Boy, we winning though. 2-0. I'll take it. And last but not least, Rams at Bengals. The Rams look good, yo. Joe Burrow, I'm not picking the Bengals to win a single game until I see Joe Burrow looking a little better. And I don't think he will because he's hurt. So to end this off, I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking the Rams to get the win this upcoming week. So to recap here, we got the 49ers, the Browns, the Lions, the Packers, the Dolphins, the Vikings, Patriots, Bills, Jacksonville, Ravens, Seahawks, Chiefs, Cowboys, Steelers, Eagles, and Rams all getting wins in week 3. Hey, if you want to make a parlay, I ain't saying use all these teams, but hey, do your thing. Do your thing. Last thing I want to talk about before we end today's show. I don't have this as a banner because I don't know if I could get to it, but I want to say this. The hit that young man put on Travis Hunter in that game against Colorado was so uncalled for, bro. Bruh, the man got a lacerated liver because you want to hit the man late. Play football. Yes, it's a high emotional, intense sport. It's a violent sport. It's a physical sport. We all know that, but play the game clean, bro. Play the game clean, bro. At least make it not look dirty. I don't even know. I can't even clean that up for you, bro. And I don't even want to say your name over the air rays right now. I ain't even trying, bro. Not a man getting death threats and all that. And I ain't trying to say he deserve all of that. What I will say is, bro, you got no business hitting a player. The ball not even near the guy. The ball hit the ground. Ball not even in the air, and you targeting this man. Have to run around. Michael Parsons said this on his podcast. You have to run around your own teammate to hit this guy late. I know it's a rival, in-state rival. It was a lot of trash talk that y'all started this week, by the way. But come on, man. It makes me mad in today's society to not to wear off topic too much. And this is a sports podcast, but just to wear off just slightly. In today's society, we can never embrace anything different. Anything different. Deion Sanders does it a different way, and people don't like it. Embrace being different, bro. Embrace different. Embrace it, bro. Because, again, he is bringing money to college football. I never watched more college football in my life, and it's all because of Deion Sanders. That kid should be, not only should he have been ejected, he should be suspended for a game or two for that hit. That's my take. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to harp on that too long. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders, who's a dog. And shout out to Deion Sanders for being who you are. Stay within your skin, man. Be who you are, whether people like it or not. And you ain't got to have me tell you that. Who am I? You don't care. But if you ever hear this, continue to be who you are. It's very inspiring. Thank you, black man, for being who you are. Yeah, I said it. If you don't like it, turn me off. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in to this week. to this week's episode of Full Time Out. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening over the radio and you want to leave a comment, go on YouTube, type in AJ2K. My name should come up. Type in Full Time or Full Time Out. My name should come up. If you're looking for the social handles, again, A as in apple, J as in juice, A as in alphabet, E as in eat, the number 2, the letter K. I will catch y'all on the next episode of Full Time Out.